the rate of unemployment probably went up. I've seen it in the news. It's something that is continuously growing, and I just want to be here for you guys to support you and learning how to like get a job. Basically, you need to get a job because you're broke and you don't know where to start. So I'm going to tell you guys some tips that I learned on how I got a job within 16 days of coming back home to New York City, and what I did, and what are some tips for like interviews. You need to be organized. This is step one of being successful. Okay, this is meaning by literally when I got the interview slot, it was 3 days past of me not responding, which is bad. You're supposed to respond like right away. I didn't see it because I had like all these emails like obviously stacked up on one each other, right? So thankfully, thank God, I responded just in time and I was able to book a slot basically to get interviewed. And this also like means that you have to be very organized with your content as well. Like have what you're gonna show them like right then and there, and just be very consistent of the workflow and how you present it, because that just shows like how much of an organized person you are and you're able to take multiple tasks. And this goes for like any job that you get, because managers need to see this. Like this is like the number one skill that you have to have, especially in social media. That's where I work in. But it's just something that you have to be on top of, because you can miss a deadline, you can miss money opportunities, you can miss I don't know, if you got like a gift card in your email, or like a meet and greet with someone, or an interview with like a journalist. Like these are things you have to be on top of in any type of job field. So that is like my number one tip in general of like getting a job, because when you want to be organized, right, you're going to be organized with what jobs you already applied for and which ones you want to apply for. So you have to make like this list and basically chart the data of like oh, I applied more to beauty, but I want to do tech. So you just like separate them like in categories, so you know what you have to like work on more, and it just gives you literally a clear vision of the tasks that you need to do, and like how you can set yourself up for success. Because let's say you applied for like this beauty career field job opportunity, right? But you didn't have like a beauty focused content portfolio for that, then like last minute, if they'd be like, oh, can you meet within like 24 hours, or like I don't know, like 6 hours for example, and you don't have it, then you're literally screwed, because like you don't have it, and it's because you were like unorganized. Like you had all the content in your files, but you didn't have it like in the presentation or portfolio like file. So that can really like trip you up, honestly. And it shows with them. Be like, oh, we would have hired you, but you didn't show us on time, and then we picked the other person because they had it and they sent it to them right away. And it can literally cost you a job like this. This is the second tip. I don't know if you can see it mirrored, but it says consistent. So yeah, be consistent about your intentions and what you want to do for your career. This means that if you want to apply for a job and you're not getting callbacks or anything, you have to keep doing it. Like a job doesn't magically appear in your lap within a day of applying to like 100 jobs. Like you have to do it like in reoccurring like timely events, basically, right? So let's say you want to apply for being a doctor, right? In general, most job like applications, they go up in the morning. So you're going to want to be the first one to apply. Like 8 in the morning, you set a time block for 8 to 10. You're looking on Indeed, LinkedIn. I also use Handshake, but those are the 3 major platforms that I check to apply for a job. For this one, particularly what I got, it was through Indeed. So they do like post regularly, and you're just gonna want to pick the like recent one. That's what I usually do within like no more than 6 days, because by that time like they already have like their application set out. So you just want to pick the recent job application, because That's like the most important one they're gonna check, and then they're gonna look at your application. They're gonna figure out if they want you, so they'll email you and they'll tell you when to come in. And then usually these interviews have like 1 to 3 rounds of interviews, but you're just gonna want to keep being better at each interview, meaning if they want to look at certain content or certain information, you want to tailor it to that specific niche with what they're requesting basically. So you're just going to be really consistent of what you do to apply for these jobs, because I'm telling you right now, like, it's really hard to get a job. Like, my friends been telling me, like, literally the interview is harder than the actual job. And this is something that people really need to be consistent on, especially if you're not getting any callbacks or anything. Like, if you're not getting callbacks, you just have to keep applying. Like, there's gonna be someone wanting to accept you. And just to make it all easier, I would filter it. So this means like, oh, if you really want like a remote job, you would filter it, and then you would just get all the applications of the remote jobs. So it's something easier just to look at, and it's like quicker. I think Indeed and LinkedIn do like a really great job of filters. So I would like check through there. But yeah, this is something that you have to be very like strict on, especially in the morning time, because recruiters are always on there trying to find someone to replace a job. Because I'm telling you right now, people are getting laid off, or they don't like the person that is doing the role, so they fire them, or it's just like it's not working out, they're not seeing the growth, so they want to find someone new. They want to replace them and get like as much of like sales for that company basically. So that is the second tip. The third tip is you're going to want to be skilled, right? So this means that when you go to the interview, like, for example, like social media, right? So if they're going to be asking you of like, oh, like what type of scheduling programs you use, you're gonna be wanting to list like all of the scheduling apps that you've used, like, oh, like Hootsuite, Sprout, Later, Monday, Canva Pro maybe. Like, you're gonna want to be knowing these things on top of your head, because they want to see like, oh, if you know how to like use this, or are you like experienced at least in one of them. And it's just something that it's very like pretentious of knowing about when you go for an interview, right? You never know, you might just get that job because you answered something right in that interview and they just love that about you. So that is something that you have to be very like strict on. Also, like, for example, if they ask you like, oh, how did you do this in your video, like if you show them like a portfolio of like your work, you're gonna want to be like, oh, I used this lens with this edit and it took me like 3 minutes or something. Like, you're gonna want to be very like detailed about your work and how you led up to that result, because that just shows them that you can do the work basically. Like, people forget to like also like brush up on recent like trends or new things about like their industry, because everything is evolving so fast that like AI is like literally keeping up and like taking over most of these jobs now, that entry levels are not being provided in the job field. Like, I check even like almost like, I would say every 2 days if any like PR job for entry level is up, and it's not there. I'm telling you, like, right now it's like non-existent. Like, even if it's like if this says entry level or internship, you have to have like at least minimum like 3 years of experience, which is crazy because it's entry level. Like, you're supposed to learn in that environment and through your peers, and it's just not like there. Like, it baffles me honestly, but I believe that AI has definitely taken over these entry level jobs that most of us are trying to look for. So this is something that you have to keep up on with like technology and how you're going to use it to maximize basically your workload at the job. Like, you have to learn how to use AI. Like, that is something that needs to be like implemented in your work. Like, for me personally, I use AI to help me with like brain fog, or just like an idea that I want to get more details on. Like, I use it. You still have to be creative with your own thoughts, but also like let it help you generate more different ideas, if that makes sense. But yeah, like that's like just something that is gonna stay in this world and this economy. Like literally there's even robots now that are literally cleaning people's houses or picking out their outfit for them. Like it's crazy. Like okay, so if that robot picks out the outfit, what is that? It's basically a stylist. Like that's another stylist job's like out the like no, it's not gonna be there no more. So you people really have to be implementing AI into their work because it's literally gonna take over, and I'm scared even like it's gonna take over my job. And like social media is like, I mean, it's pretty large, it's pretty broad thing, but like still like it could like, I don't know, learn like all 5 programs all in one, and that program can like take over someone's job. Like you never know nowadays because technology has just been shape shifting in many forms that people are unprepared, and the laggards, they're gonna like regret not using it and just be very conflicted in their work environment, and they're just not gonna have any income. So I'm telling y'all right now, you guys have to start using it because I mean, even in my class, like at right? They saw it. They were like, oh, they were telling lectures about it, like, oh, don't use it. And then they were like, oh, we can tell if you use it. Like the teachers were trained to like test how like a student were using it in an essay, if they're plagiarizing it and everything. But I remember in my PR class, they were like telling us like, oh, we want you guys to like play around with it. So we want you to be like, oh, tell us how you would describe this event and where and why, and how did you use words to get that result in AI, basically. Like what did you say to AI to help you with the thought process, if that makes sense. So we just practice using it because you do have to work with it. Like tell me like, oh, you were gonna ask AI how was this lip balm made, right? You wouldn't just ask that simple question, because what if you wanted to like really like learn about the product inside it? You would be like, oh, so AI, tell me how the product was made and the ingredients, and if it's organic. Like you're just gonna want to be very detailed about the question that you ask the program, because it's just gonna give you like random responses or just something that's really relevant from what you're trying to get out of it. Very organized, one, that's the #1 skill of getting a job. Two, you have to be very, what was the second one? You have to be very consistent. That's the second one. You have to be very like eager to want to get this job. You are going to want to show the employers that you know what you're talking about and why they should pick you, like what's your value, you're going to give it to them. And thirdly, you're going to want to be very skilled in the work you do, because if you look very like lost, or you know, like you don't know what's going on in the world, that's a really bad look for your bosses to see like you don't know anything. Like it's just like, why did we hire you, basically? And I'm pretty sure they can let you go like this, like an instant. So like, strong in your career field and just know what you're talking about, because at the end of the day there's other applicants that they would choose from, and it's getting real. Like things are getting real in this economy. Like I'm telling you guys right now, I was in that position when I finished graduating because after it was, I believe, 11 months, I wasn't like employed because it was hard to get a job in Miami, especially. I've applied for New York jobs, but I wasn't hearing anything back. And you just want to just keep applying, like keep trying, because you know, at the end of the day, if you get that first application through, who knows, like you might get that job because you picked up that application at 8 in the morning when they just released it. So that's something you have to keep in the back of your mind, that you never know who's watching. That's another thing, because you might get another opportunity just by doing something. Like I remember when I went for that first interview, right, for this job in Manhattan, right, I was literally setting up my tripod in this lighting in the sidewalk. I was like in a diamond district, and I was gonna finish my reel that I was gonna do, like get ready with me for this interview for New York City. And I just set it up, you know, showing my outfit, and then like some guy had walked behind me. He was like, oh, do you do vlogs? Like, what do you do? And then I was like, yeah, I do vlogs. And then I was just trying to finish it, and just like he just kept talking, and I was like, oh, like what happened, like what did you need, like what's going on? And he was like, oh, like I work in that jewelry store right there, and we need someone to do content. And he was like, oh, okay, take my Instagram, whatever, like let's exchange information, let's see what we can do. Because look, that was like literally another opportunity in disguise, because all I did was be my authentic self and literally do something that I love, which is social media. And that's what you attract when you really do something spontaneous. Because I get it, some people have like fear of like doing things in public, or just, you know, like having attention on them. But this is something that you have to like break out your shell of. Like your fear of looking stupid is literally holding you back. Like I remember this creator, she's YouTube, she does like vlogs and everything, she says that quote. So I like really like strongly believe in that. But anyways, see, that was like literally another opportunity. Like you never know, like that could be like my other, I don't know, fifth, fourth job that I have now. Oh my god, I have so much job. I'm gonna be so busy. But yeah, I mean, there's other opportunities you can look at. You can do freelance, you can create your own guides, your own services basically, and then just promote it on social media. Or it just really depends on your like career field. I know through social media there's like so many channels to make money through, like affiliate marketing or creator funds. What else? There is commission-based sales. Honestly, it just really depends on your career. I feel like marketing is always going to be there. So if you really want to start social media, like just do it. This is your sign to start. If you need that extra push, I'm here for you. I'll answer any comments you guys have or any DMs, because like I just know so much stuff. Like I literally eat, breathe, like social media. Like you guys should literally see my screen time on Instagram. I'm gonna show you guys right now. Your minds are gonna be blown. Right, look, it says, look, it says it right there. I don't know if you can see it. Hold on. It literally says 16 hours. 16 hours on Instagram. Like, is that normal? No, it's not normal. But that's what I have to do. I have to know what's going on, or like what my competitors are posting, or literally engaging. Like you have to like engage with your audience. That is something that you do daily. Like it's not something you do for an hour and then you throw your phone away. Because social media, you have to engage with like a comment within 24 hours, because that's how you get people to convert to follows, or like more like updates about like, oh, there was an event on this day. If you want to learn more about it, click the link in our bio, like, and then they can learn stuff about, I don't know, what's going on in the world. So it's just something that you have to like, social media is like nonstop. Like there's no work and life balance with social media, I'm pretty sure, and PR, because any situation can happen. So you have to be prepared of like anything that could go on. So if you're really wanting to like dive into the PR or social media world, do it. Like honestly, it's not scary or anything. It's just something that, it's just, I love it because it keeps me on my toes, and it's something different every day. Like it's so much fun. And honestly, it took me, I think it took me literally, I think like a year to actually like find what I wanted to do. So I remember I took public relations and social media classes my junior year of my last 2 years of college, and like I really fell in love with it. Like literally my freshman and sophomore year in college, like I didn't know what to do. I was just like, okay, let me just pick something easy just to get my bachelor's and just graduate. And like I was picking biology, I wanted to do child psych, I had studied early childhood education, and it just wasn't like a calling for me. And so I picked, oh, let me go into communications at And then I saw public relations, and I brushed up upon like the information of what it is, and I was like, okay, I want to do that. And then I was like, what's adjacent to it, because I needed a minor for that like major. I was like, oh, I like marketing, like that's something fun and you can make a whole lot of income for that. So I just chose that, and I just fell in love with it for the last 2 years. Honestly, did help me like pick my career field and really help me like learn what I wanted to do in life. So I really thank University of Miami for implementing that in my life, because it definitely changed who I am, and it like helped me get so much opportunities. And especially in the marketing world, like everything is like progressively like changing positively, and it's just something that I love to do and be a part of. So those are some of my tips that I have for you guys so far. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me on Jen on the Scene or down below in the comments. And be sure to like and subscribe to this channel because I'll be posting weekly, hopefully with this new job. But I hope you guys love this video, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.